your presentation, please.
All right. Well, thank you so much, very, very much. And I apologize for the audio problems and technical difficulties, but I'm so thankful to have a chance to visit with you today and talk with you about the coronavirus and how it has affected our university and other universities in the United States, and what we're doing about that to try and combat the concerns that all of our students have, and obviously our international students, but as well as our domestic students here in the United States, and all the things that are going on right now. And let me just take a few moments and talk to you about what we have done here at High Point University, which is similar to what many universities have done across the nation. First of all, we recognized many weeks ago that this was a pandemic, and so the university immediately set up a program and a group of people in a committee that was a task force to find out how can we best deal with this issue. We were fortunate in the sense that our students were already off on spring break, so we were able to simply tell them, stay home until we know what's going on. And so when we realized that we were going to have to do something other than teach in class, we set up a whole online system for our students who were both domestic and international. Interestingly, many of our international students, of course, could not go home because their home countries had closed their borders, or they couldn't get flights out. There were certainly some problems. We, at that point, decided as a school that all of our international students who could not go home, did not want to go home due to whatever reasons, were allowed to stay on campus. And we then provided them with food service as well as other services to make sure that they were safe, that they were healthy, and able to stay here on our campus. So we had a number of international students and a few domestic students who stayed here on our campus through this whole quarantine process and have been here all through this time. But what we did was we realized that once this thing started to go into phases, as you may or may not be aware, each of the U.S. states in the USA have set up phases, and they starting through these different phases of allowing people to now interact among one another. What are going to be the precautions? What are going to be kind of the rules, if you will, to control this coronavirus? So what we did, again, the task force got together with all the local health service people, the CDC, which is the major organization throughout the United States that works over these very severe and deadly viruses and diseases that we're confronted with in our lives. So what we did is with that task force and with all the people we could have working with us, we set up a program for our students. We do intend to open up in the fall with our classes. Now, we recognize that this may not be capable, many of the international students may not be capable of getting here. So we're looking at some alternatives on how to work with them. Is that online courses until they can get here? Is that a deferral until they can get here? We're looking at all different sources to try and make sure that we're prepared. We believe some of our students, depending on the opening of the embassies and things of that nature, will be able to be here in August and start their college career with us, which is exciting in itself. But we have arranged our class schedules so that we have ability to have social distancing. We've gone in and removed desks in classrooms so that we can again accommodate social distancing for our students. We have set up all sorts of areas and where the students will be able to get their temperature taken, will be able to do the things that are necessary to make sure that they're safe. We have a quarantine section. We have a health center on our campus with a full-time physician, doctor, as well as physician assistants and nurses. And we have set up an area, a quarantine area, to separate any student who may have the virus or may be sick for other reasons. So we're prepared as best we can to make sure that our students are safe and healthy here at High Point University. The fact that we have large programs going on throughout the school year, we have basically canceled those, or we have postponed those depending on how things go in the spring. So we're trying to do everything we can to make sure that our students are safe and healthy. We have signs everywhere encouraging the students to keep 6 feet apart. We have encouraged our students to make sure that they good hygiene. We put together a little package that we provide the students with things such as antibacterial cleaner, sterilization things, so that they are able to help themselves and take care of themselves. All people are required to wear masks once they're outside of their office or their dorm rooms. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that the students are safe and healthy. We believe that there are certain other steps that we will continue to do as we progress, that things that we were not able to recognize, we have to be flexible, we have to be understanding and able to work with the students and with the facilities that we have, and obviously with our own staff and our professors. Those are some of the steps we have done. Control the distancing in the classroom, control the distancing in the general areas throughout all of our facilities, provide sterilization and things that the students can help them make sure that they are cleaning in that, put forth ideas and concepts to make sure that they're washing their hands frequently and taking care of those kinds of things. So all that kind of thing. Food service is another area that we've done a lot of work on to try and make sure that there's social distancing in there and doing the best we can to, again, alleviate as much as possible any possibility of someone getting the virus. I would welcome any questions once we're done with our presentation on that, because I think it's important that all of you have an idea that this is where we believe that the important thing is that you are able to abide by the rules and the policies that are set forth. Most of our issues have come from situations where young people thinking that they're immune or whatever it is, well, I'm not sure what their mentality, are gathering together, and we must be able to control that. So we need your help as a student as well as our policies that will help us keep everyone safe from this terrible virus that has been going throughout the world. So again, if there's questions on that, we can certainly answer those questions a little bit later on.
What we'll do, I'm very sorry to interrupt. What we can do is, though thanks for guiding us what measures have been taken by US and your university, especially for the entire pandemic. What we can do is that you can start off with your presentation. Once we are done with the presentation, we'll ask all the questions cumulative, even about the COVID-19 situation and also about the courses and everything in one go. So you can start off with the presentation, and to all my attendees, you can keep posting your questions so that by the end of the webinar, we can answer all the questions regarding COVID-19 situation and also regarding all the courses. Over to you again, Jim.
Super. Thank you very much for that. And can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, super. Well, here, this picture, again, High Point University has been around since 1924. And so we're nearly 100 years old. It won't be too long before we will be 100 years old. And so we're celebrating that by offering our incoming freshman students this year, who are coming here in the fall, the opportunity to receive a tuition-free master's degree here at High Point University. So any freshman coming in that was graduating in 2024 will receive a free, tuition-free master's degree opportunity, be eligible to receive a master's degree at no tuition charge to them as part of our celebration for our 100th year. High Point University is a liberal arts, private liberal arts university. We have 4,600 students. Some of the key things that make us different are that we average only 17 students per class. And so our classes are very small, and they're probably going to be even smaller at least this first part of the year because of the situation with the COVID virus. So we're hoping that we will continue to be able to be small. And what happens when you have small classes, of course, is you're able to really communicate with your professor. You're able to communicate among yourselves as students. And you don't really just study what's in the textbook. You get a chance to really expand upon that, to really explore new ideas, new concepts, and develop those from within, which makes it much more a better and an excellent education for each of the students. High Point University has been recognized by U.S. News and World Report as one of the #1 colleges in the Southeast United States, and has been recognized for that 8 years in a row. It's the #1 college in the Southeastern United States. It's also ranked in the top 300 by Princeton Review and U.S. News and World Report. So this is an excellent university. This university provides you with lots of opportunities that other universities cannot. Before we go on, I want to show you, this is our mission statement. And our mission statement, many universities and many organizations, corporations, have what we call mission statements. What are our goals? What are we trying to accomplish? I'd like to read this to you. At High Point University, every student receives an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. There are 3 words on here that I want to make sure that we talk about: extraordinary, inspiring, and caring. And as we go through my presentation today, I'm going to be showing you how that fits in. To begin with, we have what we call our 4 pillars of academic success. The first one, of course, is academic success. The second is experiential learning. The third is development of life skills. And the fourth is building and modeling values and character. And I'm going to talk about each of these as we go through. Let's start with academic success, excellence. Again, remember I told you that our classes average only 17 students per class. That's unheard of in the United States. When I was teaching as a professor, I had classes of 50, 60. I even had a class of 120 students. So you can imagine it's very difficult to get to know your professor, very difficult for the professor to get to know your student. But at High Point University, you have an opportunity to be in small classes. You have an opportunity to get to know who your professor is. That professor also gets to know who you are. When I went to college, I was simply a number. Wherever I went, they didn't ask, what's your name? They asked, what is your number? They didn't know who Jim Smith was. They just knew who my number was. It was a great university and I learned a lot, but it was not that personal opportunities that give you in small classes. I had classes of 500 students. I had classes of 125 students. So my classes were huge. The other piece to this is that at High Point University, every class is taught by a professor. We do not use teaching assistants nor grad students. Again, classes average 17 and they're taught by professors. Phenomenal opportunity for excellence in education. Some of our top majors. Do you know that many years ago, we realized that many students were coming to High Point University and they weren't sure what they wanted to do. They weren't sure what career path they wanted to follow. So in light of that, the university established a program we call Project Discovery. And Project Discovery is exactly what the words say. Our goal is to provide you an opportunity to find out what it is you have a passion for, what it is that you really, really love to do, and what are you good at, and let's blend those 2 things together. And the process of doing that is through a series of tests, through a series of interviews, through a series of taking maybe a class here or a class there in a particular major to see what you may be enjoying. to sit down with people who are in that profession and find out what did it take for them to get there? What are the job opportunities to get there? All those kinds of things that are critical for your success and for your career. So let's find your passion and let's find out what you're good at. Now, at the core of all this is a group of people we call success coaches. These are full-time adults with masters and PhDs whose sole responsibility is to work with the students to help them find what there is that they love to do. What is their passion? And then that's blended together. They do not have any other responsibilities. Now, when I went to college, I had an advisor, yes. She taught in the math department. I was in the social science department. She had no idea what my needs were, what I had was needing to do for classes. So she wasn't of much help. I missed out on so much because I didn't have someone I could turn to and ask questions. Our success coaches, again, are full-time adults with masters and PhDs whose sole responsibility is helping you find that passion. There is no other university in the United States that I'm aware of to have full-time people dedicated just for that purpose. Very unique to High Point University. The other thing that we want to do is because we think it's very important that you are able to get a job when you get done, whether you go back to your home country or you go on to graduate school, it's very important that you have a chance to do experiential learning. So we offer and require experiential learning in every major beginning your freshman year. So you're going to leave High Point University with 4 years of an excellent education. You're going to leave with 4 years of experiential learning, something you can put on your resume, something you can put in your application when you're applying for graduate school. Interesting fact, 97% of our graduates within 6 months of graduating either have a job or they're in graduate school. Those who go to graduate school, 87% get their first choice. Again, 97% of our graduates within 6 months either have a job or in graduate school. Those who go to graduate school, 87% get their first choice. That's about 15 to 20% higher than the national average throughout the United States. You're also getting a chance to work with very unique people. We bring professionals on our campus to talk with you, to work with you. These are industrial leaders. Do you know one gentleman who visits our campus regularly? Steve Wozniak. Now, those of you who may be involved in computers will recognize that name. He is not as well known as his partner. His partner's name was Steve Jobs. Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs started Apple Computer in their garage many, many, many years ago. Obviously now it's a multi-billion-dollar international company. Well, he comes on our campus and visits with our students, sits down with them and works with them and talks to them about different things they can be doing to help improve their opportunities for a career, help improve their opportunities to be successful. This is a picture of Steve Wozniak, and they have a program they call the Woz Project that they've been working on. Again, he comes to campus 3 or 4 times a year to visit with our students and work with them. Very, very important. You know, it's also important that you develop life skills. You know, so many of us come to school and we have no idea how to set budgets. We have no idea how to set goals that are realistic and reach those goals. We have no idea how to be able to communicate properly in a setting orally or in written. So we decided we were going to make sure that that was not something our graduates left here not having the skills at. So President Qubein, who is an international student, by the way, he teaches a class, a mandatory class for all our freshmen on life skills. Dr. Qubein is an individual who has multiple background. He started 7 different companies. He's on the board of several Fortune 500 companies. He's written 26 different books, translated in 20 different languages. The only university president in the United States that teaches a mandatory class. Again, another unique feature at High Point University. Here you're looking at our 5-star restaurant on campus. This restaurant is a learning center. These students are there learning dining etiquette. Again, there are so many things that you're going to learn here at High Point that are going to direct you down your career path. This is just one of them, one of the life skills that you're going to have an opportunity to take advantage of. This is also part of your meal plan. No other university in the United States has a 5-star restaurant in the middle of their campus. Very unique to High Point University. The Center for Career and Professional Development. Again, remember 97% of our students within 6 months either have a job or in grad school. Here is a picture of a student visiting with one of our Career and Professional Development Center employees. And they're talking and learning how they should go about writing a resume, writing a cover letter, how to prepare themselves in the best way possible to reach the job and to find that passion that they're looking for. This is just a board of our different alums, and they go to a variety of different corporations to work for and on to graduate school. Often they are given opportunities that they would not have otherwise. Our professors become mentors to them, assisting them in every step of the way. We want to talk about how when you come to High Point University, you come here with morals and values that your parents have taught you. And we want to continue to build upon those values and those morals, to continue to build and grow you. And we do so many things that are part of that. We have community service opportunities for you to share your talents, your skills with those who may be less fortunate. Opportunities to share those abilities that you have that will make another individual feel good. But you know who really ends up feeling good? It's the person who is sharing and giving. We think that's critical. Over 110,000 hours of community services given by our communities, our students each year. They help others, and it only helps them feel good. You know, it's so important when you're coming and getting involved in your life and in your career that you realize that you can't just hibernate in your office. You must get out. You must be a part of your community. You must share your talents, your skills and abilities with those around you. You got to be able to do that and feel good about that. And what happens here at High Point is we give you that opportunity to feel that, give you that opportunity to know the goodness that you have inside. And you know what? It carries over into the classroom, it carries over into your career, and it carries over into every part of your fiber of your life. Our campus is ranked as one of the top, most beautiful campuses in the United States. What a great place to be able to be, to have facilities like we have, state-of-the-art facilities. Our human biomechanics and physiology labs is one of the finest in the world. There are only 3 like it in the whole United States, and is here for you to take advantage of. We have excellent opportunities in different fields as well as sports and student life. There are over 16 different Division I teams. That's the top division. We have over 100 campus clubs and student organizations, fraternities, all sorts of things for you to be a part of, for you to be able to share and enjoy and be a part of here at High Point University. This here is one of our student centers. Our student centers is ranked as the #1 in the United States. We have 2 of them, and they're both ranked. Beautiful facilities for you to have an advantage of. Well, we start our application for fall of 2021 in August 1. And we have 3 basically application deadlines: early decision, November 1, early action, mid-November, and regular decision March 1. Early decision give you some certain benefits. Of course, it's binding. You've made a decision to come to High Point. You get your early decision notification. You have priority on housing. You get to move in early. You also get to select your courses much earlier. And you get access to, remember those success coaches I mentioned to you. You get access to them. I'd like to just take a moment here to let you know that our dormitories, as you see these young ladies here, our dormitories are also ranked #1 in the United States. Lots of #1s for High Point University. Again, here's another picture depicting our students, and the background there is a dormitory. Back to our mission statement. At High Point University, every student receives an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. Classes average 17, taught by professors. Experiential learning required all 4 years. Opportunity for life skill development, as well as character development. And you're going to be in the most beautiful environment you can be. And you know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been on hundreds of campuses, and there are absolutely some incredible campuses. But you're not going to find a campus that is completely beautiful. The whole campus is that way. So very safe campus, very secure. We have a perimeter fence around our campus to keep our students safe from outside. 24/7 security here. So it's a very safe and secure place for you to be and to enjoy. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for your time today. And I'm certainly willing to take any questions that you might have.
Yes, Jim, though it was a wonderful presentation and it was lovely, and even the audience would have loved to know about the High Point University. So, going towards the question bit, can you please tell me what are the measures that you have taken for the students? Really want to know what are the measures that you have taken for the COVID-19 situation? Like, are the courses online now, and how are you people managing online classes for the international student? If you can please throw some light on that.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good question. Yes, right now everything is online for all of our students, actually. We are planning to open up our in-class programs, actually even this summer, with some summer programs that we have going on, and then into the fall. We have not concluded exactly how we're going to deal with international students for the fall as far as classes are concerned. We're hoping and praying that most of our students will be able to be here for that. Those that are not, then we will have to find ways to either do online courses or do a deferment until they can be here. We're looking at all different options. We're going to work with our students. We're going to be as flexible as we possibly can to make sure that this happens for them. Our goal is to make sure that the students are safe, the students are secure and healthy, and we only know how to do that by being flexible, being willing to look at alternatives, and working with them as best we can.
So, Jim, there's this one question that is arising in every international student's mind, which is it the right time to apply? So what would you suggest, that should they hold on or should they wait for the next earliest intake, or is it a good time to apply? So what is your take on that? So is it a good time to right now apply in the States? What is it like?
Yes, for us, we are open to applications. We realize that it is a difficult time right now, but we want to believe in the future. We want to believe and be optimistic that everything's going to work out. And so, yes, I would encourage students who are interested in coming this fall to apply immediately. Obviously, time is getting short, so we would need to get the applications in as quickly as possible. My turnaround time is this: if once I have everything, is just a couple, 3 days, and we'll have answers for you. So, those who are interested in coming this fall, please apply. Absolutely.
So then we have Ashish with us, who has asked this question: what is the criteria for applying in a pharmacy-based program for a PG course? So what is the application criteria? Like, what do you guys looking for? What are the minimum requirements, maybe in the TOEFLs or the admission requirements?
Thank you. Now, what we do, first of all, we are test optional, so you do not have to take the SAT or ACT for undergraduate. And we only have averages. We look at the whole student. We don't just look at just scores and grades. We look at what the student has done. Our average GPA is 3.4. Our average SAT is 1220, and ACT is 25. Again, those are averages, so there's some above and some below. As far as TOEFL, we utilize a variety of different language tests. Duolingo is becoming very, very popular, and so we have been utilizing that quite a bit because why? Quick turnaround. You can do it online, it's cheap, and it's very valid and dependable, and we are able to get it. Literally, you could take it, if you could register today and take it tomorrow, we would have the results before the end of the week. Or if you take the TOEFL, it could take several weeks to get that information. But we do, the TOEFL is 80, IELTS is 6.5, Duolingo is 105.
That's pretty cool. So then we have a question which says and talks about the living cost in USA. So anybody who is taking an admission in your university or in USA, what is the average living cost and how can he manage his expenses? Is there a part-time job opportunity? So what is it like? If you can please elaborate on this.
Yes, yeah, and of course, every place is different. Every area in the United States, if you're in New York, obviously it's going to be tremendously expensive versus if you're here versus in the California area, that's very expensive. The Midwest is not so expensive. The middle part of the United States is not nearly as expensive. Every international student has opportunity to work on campus. You cannot work off campus, but you can work on campus. But you're restricted to only 20 hours per week. That's by the federal government. That's by our U.S. government. So we cannot adjust that. But there are jobs on every campus for international students. So you should be able to find a job. It will not pay your tuition. It will only help you pay for some personal items that you may want, things like going to a movie or something like that but you're not going to be able to make enough money to pay any tuition.
So now, majority of people have also asked us a question regarding scholarships. Is there any kind of scholarship provided for in your university for a grad program or for a post-grad program? And if yes, what is the eligibility for the scholarship?
Yes, every international student who comes to High Point University, if they have at least a 3.0 GPA, automatically get $5,000 scholarship. If you decide to take the SAT or ACT, then your scholarship will be based upon your grades and your test scores. The higher they are, the more money you get. So there are certainly opportunities for that. There are fellowships where you can also apply and get additional scholarship money for you to help you. And you just accumulate all this money and until you get to a point where there's nothing else for you to do. Our average merit scholarship here at High Point University, with everything combined, is around $17,000. Our tuition for international.
So as you know that because of the entire situation right now, people are facing a lot of problems even while they are applying. For example, they are not able to arrange for their LORs maybe. So what are the relaxation that your university has provided for international students to apply in your university, or what is the criteria, or if you have reduced the TOEFL criteria, or you are maybe accepting conditional offers? So what are the relaxations provided by your university into the ongoing pandemic?
In as far as scholarships are concerned?
No, it's not about the scholarship. Because of the entire situation right now, people are facing problem while applying as well. Like they are not able to arrange for all the documents. So what are the measures taken by your university for that?
Yes, we have looked at a variety of different ways to look at it, and we are willing to bend a lot of rules, to be honest with you, and be flexible with that. If you are applying to us and you have you are able to get a hold of one of your counselors to get your information, if you can provide us with that information yourself, we will take a look at it, and if we are confident that it's authentic, we will utilize that. Obviously, our goal is to get that. We'll have to have eventually have to have the transcripts, for example, from the school that are official. So, but we can work with things initially work with something you can provide us.
So, Jim, you must be, of course, aware about the statement of purpose as well, which all the international students write while applying. So, majorly in a statement of purpose, because the applicants face a lot of hiccups while writing their SOP, that what should they keep in consideration. So, according to you, what pointers should they keep in consideration while they are writing their SOP?
What should they concentrate when they're, I'm sorry, would you say it one more time?
You know that while an international student is applying for your university or for any university, he has to write a statement of purpose. He has to write about himself and his aspirations, that why does he want to come to your university. So what are the pointers that he should focus on or maybe mention to secure an admission? So if you can please throw some light on that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. The personal statement or essay, whatever you may want to call that, and each university seems to have a different name for it. What I always admonish the students to do, don't tell me that you're a great student. Don't tell me you're a great athlete, because all that that information is going to come out in your teacher recommendations. It's going to come out in your test scores and that sort of thing. But tell me a story about you. Tell me something that's going to give me an idea of who you are and what you want to be. What are your aspirations? What are your goals? Something that will give me a sense of who is this person that I'm reading about. Because we read so many applications, hundreds and thousands of applications. If I see an application that is telling me a story, tell me something that will evoke emotion that will make me think, or emotion that make me grin, or emotion that maybe even make me sad. Something that will tell me who you are. So take your time, and this doesn't have to be pages long. This is just a few paragraphs. But tell me something that helps me understand an event in your life, possibly a time that there was a major crisis, or a time when you had a major event that was happy and exciting. Something that will give me an insight into who you are.
That's pretty true. Then we have Jay Raj, who has asked us a question: for a graduate program, is GRE required? And if not, even if we give GRE, does that help? If required, any idea about the average cutoffs for your university, for any program?
Yes, the graduate program is completely separate from the undergraduate program. They have their own office and their own counselors, and they again are looking at doing different things. I know they've talked about waiving the GRE and those sort of things, but it would be specific to a different program, because the departments really control the graduate program. In other words, they dictate to the graduate department admissions, we will not waive the GRE, or we will waive the GRE, or whatever it may be. So that is something, I don't have the specifics on that, but if that's something that we need to get for you, then we certainly would do so. Absolutely.
That's nice. Then we have Rick, who has asked us this question: sir, if we want to settle there after successfully acquiring a job, what about that? What do we need to do for that? So for anybody who gets a job there, and if he wants a residence there, if he wants to be a permanent residence in USA, so what are the steps that then he needs to follow?
Okay. First of all, I'm going to be very honest. It's not easy to do that. It's very difficult right now for international people to become a citizen here in the United States. What we offer, and we work with this diligently, and depends on the major, but you can do OPT. You can do on-the-job training after you graduate. And those will last for 18 months, 2 years, and some of them are even out to 3 years. During that time, if your employer can prove that you are a necessary and essential member of that company, then the likelihood of you at least getting an opportunity to become a citizen happens. But it is not easy. I don't want to mislead you in any way. It's not easy to do that, but it is possible. So they go through OPT at the end of their graduation. Many of our international students go on to graduate school. And so that's their goal. Now understand that in the United States, the whole idea for the student visa is to give a student an opportunity to get an education here. It's not an opportunity to become a citizen. And it's very specifically spelled out in the documentation that you will receive when you go to get your visa at the embassy.
Okay, so then we have Seerath, who has asked us this question. Is there any course regarding dramatic or acting in your university? So if you can please elaborate a little more about the courses offered by your university and what are the major courses offered by High Point University?
Absolutely. Yes, and to answer this specific question, our dramatic department, our drama department, our theater department is excellent. We have people performing all over the world who have been here and graduated from High Point University. So it's a very strong program. There are several productions every year, both music and musicals, theater, all of that is provided. We have 62 different majors here at High Point University. Most recently, we've added computer engineering, electrical engineering, hospitality, and courses in digital communication. So we've added some courses even this year, even though we're faced with this COVID-19. There are 60, as I say, 60 different majors, 62 now. And the most popular is business. Now, of course, business covers a lot of areas: economics, finance, accounting, all those kinds of things are underneath the umbrella of business. So it's the most popular. And then communications, and then sciences, and then our education department. So there are a variety of courses for a student to take here at High Point University.
Can you also please tell us about the programs that you're offering for business regarding programs, or maybe management regarding programs? And what would be the fee structure for the programs that you're providing for business or management?
Okay. Well, the business management program is the most popular program at all, even in the business program. And basically, it's an opportunity for you to develop your management skills and administrative skills throughout your time here. You're going to get involved in a variety of different ways. Remember, we do experiential learning here. So even as an international student, you're going to have opportunities to get out and share your leadership skills and build your leadership abilities, because that's what management is all about: being able to lead people, being able to lead a corporation or a company down the right pathway. So those are important characteristics and qualities you're going to learn in the business management area. There are no extra fees. The tuition here at High Point University, we combine our tuition and our fees. When I say fees, I'm talking about your lodging, your meal plan, and then there's a whole list of other things that are included in that. And the whole thing is around $54,000 for the whole year. So tuition and fees are around $54,000.
Okay, so then we have Seerath again. He is very much interested in High Point University, and he has asked this question that there are a lot of students who have a little financial problem. So how does the university help for giving some extra scholarship, or do they have to write a scholarship essay for that? And what, like, if they can pay their fees in installments, so how is the payment of the fees going to be? So if you can elaborate a little on that as well.
Okay. Again, we do have merit scholarships. We do not have need-based scholarships, only merit scholarships for international students. And yes, you can make payments. That was arranged through the Student Accounts Office to be able to do that. They'll work with you on that. Everything must be paid, though, before the end of the school year. So that's important to know. We do our very best to work with our international students to try and make this a possibility for them. I must tell you, we do not give full scholarships to anyone, including our domestic students. So just so you're aware of that, as I mentioned, the average merit scholarship is around $17,000.
Okay. And so my next question is that a lot of students, international students, have a lot of extracurricular activities. They are involved into a lot of extracurricular activities as well. Maybe sports, maybe dramatics. So how does the university caters their interests? So do you have particular clubs or what like that?
We have over 100 different clubs for students to participate. So the social opportunities are big. I already mentioned about the drama department. The theater department is very strong. Dance department is very strong. Those students who are athletes, we have both the Division I program, and then we have club sports. Club sports have taken off here in the United States. We compete against other universities. We have uniforms. We have coaches. We have regular practices. They compete around the region. So it's much more involved than it used to be when I was in college. Club sports were kind of nothing, but now they've grown and becoming a lot of very fine athletes participate in our club sports. And we have 39 different club sports for our students to participate in. So there are a lot of different areas that they can play. So social opportunities abound here. There are many, many of them. Athletic opportunities, several. And of course, we have intramurals on top of everything else. That's just, it within the university competing. So there's a lot of opportunity of those to be active and to be involved on campus and off campus.
Then we have Purva, who also wants to know about your major intakes. So like, what are the intakes for your university? And which would be the next intake where she should plan to apply for your university?
Our next would be August, and then after that would be January. So we have August and we have January. Those are the two intakes that we have here at High Point.
Okay. And then we also have a question which is regarding nursing courses. So are there any nursing courses in your university?
Would you say that one more time, please?
There are questions regarding nursing-based programs. So is there any nursing or health regarding program in your university?
Nursing?
Scope of job after that.
Did you say nursing?
Yeah, nursing okay. Or health regarding program.
Yes, we have started a nursing program. We are in the process of getting it accredited. It is brand new, so our students are now coming and they're taking courses to prepare them, and so these courses will be just pull them right into the nursing program, which we anticipate being ready to go by this next year. Full steam.
That's pretty nice. So Jim, it was really fun interacting with you. I hope we have answered a lot of questions, and for the remaining questions, I would be disturbing Jim again, guys. I would keep posting your questions to Jim. So Jim, if you can please give us a parting note for the entire webinar and can speak a few lines about the webinar, that would be great.
You bet. Again, thank you so very, very much for allowing me to have this opportunity to visit with you. We are so excited here at High Point University to have the opportunity to have international students on our campus. We believe we have an excellent opportunity for you to be a part of this. I would ask that if you have questions and stuff, please work through folks here with the webinar and have them direct those questions to me. I'm most happy to help with any questions. I think the key to all this is to realize that we believe here at High Point University that you are an extraordinary individual, that you have capabilities beyond belief, beyond what you can imagine, if you only allow yourself to maintain what we call a growth mindset, to realize that you have opportunities, that you have skills, and you have abilities that far exceed what you think you have today. And if you take an opportunity to come to High Point, we'll help you grow those, we'll help you find that success and develop those skills and talents that you have, and you will indeed realize you are an extraordinary individual. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jim. It was lovely interacting with you and knowing about your university. I would keep disturbing you for further queries, and thank you to all my attendees for making this webinar so successful and asking all your questions. I hope we were able to answer a lot of them, and we would be answering the rest as well. So let's meet in the next webinar, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.